What is up, everybody? How are you on this fine Wednesday post-Thanksgiving? Hard to believe a week ago was Thanksgiving Eve. It feels like it was just yesterday. It went by quick. This Thanksgiving went by quick, and I think it's because, and I'm not joking or anything, I think it's because it was just me, my wife, and daughter, and that was it at the house. So, when it was over, it wasn't like a ton of people to where you're like, oh, thank God. Now it's just back to quietness like you had.
Yeah, that's what we had. We had 11 people, and it was almost a week, and it was solid. We had stuff going every single day we did it. I see Marcus is in there. We saw him at the OMB Brewery Christmas special, so that was great, running into him and his wife, and I think it was his eldest son. And, we had a nice time there, found my daughter a cool Christmas gift there that she didn't see me buy for her.
I was going to say, wasn't she with you?
Yeah, I waited till she left, and then I snuck back around and got it. And
she doesn't watch this. What is it?
Right. No. She will every once in a while, so I'm not.
It's just us and some friends. You can tell us.
That's true. It is. So it was a rated R. It was a rated R tent. And they sold jewelry, and she loves it because it's a bracelet, and it says, "I'm a fragile fucking wildflower," and she thought it was great because we always call her that. So she thought it was great, and I'm like, "Oh my God, that is perfect!" And it's swearing on it, so she can't wear it to work, but it's
I was
awesome.
Actually joking. I didn't think you'd actually say it in case she does watch later. I know she can't live because she's at school.
She won't see this.
But all right, I'm just saying, if it was me, paranoid, I'd go home, and when I saw her tonight, I'd be like, you cannot watch today's stream.
Oh, yeah. I'll check that out. See, I was right. See, my memory isn't that bad. Yeah, it was great. It was fun. I hope you guys found some stuff. It was cool. They had a lot of their beers and stuff up there.
Did you actually partake?
Oh, they had all their OMB. So they actually have like an outdoor beer garden. So it's completely wooden and set up in there. And that was really cool. And you could order all the beers. And then like if you were drunk or whatever, they had a nice water station set up and everything that's in there.
Damn it. Was it only that weekend? You probably don't even know.
It was that one day.
Damn it.
Yeah. Oh, and that's why we decided, they, with all the relatives down and stuff, they were trying to find something to do. And they're like, hey, this would be a really cool thing to do. So we did. We decided last minute, let's just go. Because, there was no, you didn't have to buy tickets to get in. You were just there to buy beer, and when we got there at 10 something, everybody already had beer. It was great seeing that many people drink in the morning.
Yeah, I'm a little, oh my God, what is she doing? Okay, that's nice. So I just noticed, and I was going to talk a little more. This is our guest, Don, is not in the back room anymore where I can bring him up. What happened?
We don't know.
He just bounced out?
He bounced out. So we did. We
come back in.
I think he may be he had to restart his router before. Okay. And so he uses the T-Mobile wireless 5G setup.
Oh, okay.
So we were kind of talking, and
that's what Rob Hunter uses.
Yeah, it's okay.
There he is.
There he is.
All right, we'll bring him in a second.
So I've got a feeling it was a router because it pulls from different towers. We were chatting about it.
Yeah. Prater7, what's up? Just want to say hi to some people in the chat. Marcus, we already got you. Nicholas Gear in the house. Hello. Dan Genovese is in the house. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. Yes, it was I want to go to that beer thing, but just couldn't do it. We had too much going on Friday. So didn't go, but oh well, there's always next year. We actually went downtown on Saturday. They had a couple streets closed off with vendors and stuff. So my wife and kid and I went down there on Saturday and looked around and stuff. So that was fun. But it was a nice, relaxing weekend. And now we're back. We've got two guests today. The Don is joining us now, and then Donald will be joining us around 3 o'clock. And the reason we started earlier is because I thought I had to pick my daughter up at 4 o'clock, but she's actually working tomorrow now instead of today. So we were like,
everything's fluid. We just flow with it. We're like a big, powerful river, like the Old Miss.
It's like Bruce Lee says, be like water, flow. Don't let a rock get in your way. Just flow around the obstruction.
So we did. So anyway, it's great that we, the Don, we'll bring him in. He was able to join us early, so that worked out awesome. And then we will bring in the other guest as soon as he arrives.
That's right. Agent Cub is in the house. Oh, and Dallas, by the way, I know you're wondering, kicked major ass on Thanksgiving Day. Amazingly enough, the Packers beat the Lions, just once again shutting down the Lions on Thanksgiving. The Lions play on Thanksgiving and have barely won a game on Thanksgiving. So sad.
That is the one great thing about, even when the Packers are having a rebuilding season, at least we have Thanksgiving.
That's right. But let's bring on our guest without further ado. Don, what is up?
Don, like water, run off back like duck.
Exactly.
Sorry about the snafu there earlier, guys. My internet went boop, and I had to go brr. But here I am.
Guessing what it was,
today, gentlemen.
Weird.
So how do you like that? Because you're only the second person I know that has the T-Mobile 5G, just like base thing.
Times like now, not liking it so much.
Well, you look good now. I mean, you're nice and clear. Before, when we were backstage, it was a little fuzzy, but you're nice and clear now.
Did you have to reboot your router to pick up the other tower?
Like I was telling Dennis, yeah, I went to that other retarded tower, the 4806. That's the gay tower, I think. It just, it doesn't work very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like 5 different towers around here that I'll get a signal off of. And there's 2 that are like super good. And then they're like 5 miles away. And then there's this one 4806 just down the road from me. And I think that's just made for cellular telephone use. And the thing about T-Mobile is, and they're not sponsoring this video in any way, shape, or form, although they should, because Andy and Dennis are awesome. They should really give them some money. And anyway, they prioritize cell phone usage over internet usage because that's just the way it is.
Right.
A lot of times there's a lot of people in the area, and let's say there's the football games are on, or the kids are home from school and they're streaming video games, football, whatever. Then all of a sudden we get cut off to the other tower. I've had this about a year and a half now where I figured it out. Like right now, it just switched to a whole other tower, but it's one of the better ones, so that's good. But anyway, I'm here.
That's right.
That's weird. Now, are you just in an area where that's the best you can do? Is that, or did you not want to do, an actual hard line in with cable or fiber?
It's like I was telling Dennis in the back room. We were getting freaky in the back room, baby.
Yeah. I'm glad I was outside.
There's a local company, Connects. And Virginia got like, that's where I'm at. I think we got like $4 billion to update the broadband infrastructure. And this summer they laid hardline out down the road from me. I seen it and it went right in front of my house. So I got super excited. I'm like, yes, hardline fiber. Awesome. Because I worked in that industry before. I know how expensive that stuff is and I know how good it is. And I sent them an email. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally interested in this because they're talking 200 down, 20 up all the time for like $59.95. I'm like, I'm full on the board with this.
Hell yeah.
And, they said, yeah, we'll have it in about November, December. And it's like they asked in November. And I'm like, dude, what are y'all waiting? I got to do streams, man. Come on. But they don't care about me. They're just
nothing yet.
Well, you could just call them and say, because I'm half tempted to do that with Google since they tore up my front yard and they were there working on it again yesterday. I want my 8 gig, darn it, 8 gig up and down. I really can't wait. I got so much bandwidth, I could actually just throw some over to Andy's way just because it's that much.
That'd be nice.
8 gigs, man. That is redonkulous.
Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was good. Met my mama. Mama Donna says hi, by the way. These times for us, they're pretty bad. We lost the old man to cancer a couple years back. And it's we're a very close knit family, and in the immediate part anyway. The rest of my family, whatever. But
I hear you.
yeah, it's we just kind of kicked back, had a nice dinner, watched some stuff on YouTube, and just enjoyed each other's company. You know, it was really, really nice. She gets a little depressed, so do I, because Dad's not here. But we try to keep it up. You know what I mean? Keep it up.
Oh yeah,
and we're totally psyched for Christmas too. So that's even better.
Oh yeah,
good stuff. How was you guys Thanksgiving?
It was great. You know, we got the relaxed on Thanksgiving Day, did the tree and stuff, and got that up and started decorating stuff. Just got to do the lights now. But nah, man, I just kicked back. I got Aaron Lepresti's Blood Hunter earlier that week, and I told him on the bros that week I'm setting it aside and saving it for Thanksgiving Day to read, and that's exactly what I did. I know Dennis hasn't read it yet, so after this, when we go to dinner, I'm gonna tell him the whole story and spoil it.
It's actually in my front seat. If I had extra time, I brought it with to read it. I finally got a chance to open it, so yeah, I'm dying to read it. So don't worry, Aaron, I'll have it read this week.
I'll spoil it for you.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, so it was good. Hello, Joe Bernardo in his house. Joe, I got an update from Art to Bear about Black and White, and I see he chose your artwork for one of the trading cards. So congratulations on that.
I heard about it. Congratulations. I haven't seen it, so message me a picture of it because I'm dying to see it. But congrats, Joe.
Angry Gamer. We've had 2 trees up since the first weekend in November.
Whoa. No. Trees go up the day after Thanksgiving.
That's right. We had ours up on, I think, the Saturday before Thanksgiving, but the only reason is because it was a new one that we got, and we just wanted to make sure the lights worked and all that in case we had trouble and had to send it back. But usually we wait till the Friday after Thanksgiving. So what about you, Don?
We usually put ours up around the first week or 2 of December. We just got this little tiny fake tree. Ever since Dad passed, we don't really bother with the big one anymore. We got this little tiny one we kind of put up. Got little tiny Christmas bulbs on and stuff like that. Yeah, good stuff. And I got lights up all around the house, so it's all good.
Oh, that's cool.
Ours is a big project. It's a 12-foot tree, and so it's a pain in the butt to string lights on. But I got my Starship Enterprise topper. I've got all of the talking Bluetooth wreath mirror universe guys up. Everything is working. Once all the rest of the stuff's up around the house, I'll put out another video so you guys can all see it.
Hell yeah. That's cool. That's too cool, man. Yeah.
It's about a 10-minute video, so it's an interactive story. Starship Enterprise is down. You can hit the wireless button, and then I've got the wreath hanging on the door. So it's Kirk, Spock, Uhura, Chekhov, Scotty, Bowen. So it's the whole group, and it's the Mirror Universe. It's like 10 minutes of the story from the original Mirror on it. It's just fantastic.
Wow. Done. Look at our audience drop as you start talking about that.
What do you mean? It just went up. You know, the only one that drops is you. Glaze over. Everybody likes Star Trek.
I got to wake myself up. Agent Cub says, geez, Dennis, no trees until after Thanksgiving. What a Grinch. That's what I said.
That's right. Because it's Thanksgiving. Seriously, guys, I got a picture on my phone from the first week in September at Walmart putting up the Christmas stuff.
I know.
Yeah, it's just now. I worked retail. And you know what? I can't do it. You know,
well, see, that whole thing about Christmas. Our tradition started with the old man, so we just kind of keep following his footsteps. If it was up to me, I would just put the tree up and just leave it there all year long.
Oh no, I couldn't do that. In fact, it's
non-stop Christmas, baby.
Yeah. No, right around. It's basically right around New Year's Eve. It's not on New Year's Eve. So it might be the day, it might be New Year's Day, but it's right around there that sucker comes down. So
now back in the day when I was a kid, just a wee little lad, we used to get the live trees. Then the day after Christmas, Dad took that tree down because Mama don't want to be cleaning up pine needles and sap out of the carpet. So that had to go. But when we switched over to the fig trees, and boy, was that a debate back in the day. Yeah, that was pretty much up for 2-3 weeks after. Good long time.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, Joe. I will put up the video just so you can see it. And yes, you too can go out and get yours. I think they're still available. I am asking, the only thing I'm asking from Hallmark this year, because I've got it completed, they do have the original Battlestar Galactica as an ornament, and it should light up and do stuff. So I'll be curious. So I've asked my daughter for that. So cross my fingers that that's the only new thing that I think I'm adding this
Are we
year.
talking OG Battlestar or the new?
Yeah. OG. I
That's
love
the dude
the
right there.
original design of the original 78 Galactica and the original Mark I Viper.
Yep.
Most definitely.
I agree
My
with that.
brother.
Joe,
Yes.
I was going to say, if you shoot Dennis's wife an email and ask her to box everything up, she'll probably send it to you just to get it out of the house.
She doesn't. Matter of fact, she helps put it up because it's such a, like I said, it's 12 feet. So our ladder, we've got it all the way up to the top. It's a pain trying to put that
because you're scared
up.
of heights. That's why you don't climb the ladder.
Right.
You make her do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what's your point?
I don't know. Chivalry.
Chivalry's dead. No.
Oh my God, chivalry's dead.
Somebody
He
dropped
said.
their
That's
chivalry
why when we
card.
go out, I notice not only does he not open the door for her, he walks through it and then shuts it on her, so she has to open
First
it
of all,
herself.
and then this is the fence. You got to go through the door first and make sure there's no trouble on the other side, right?
That's true.
Right. That's
there we
right.
go. You got to keep it real, y'all. Got to keep it real.
See,
keep the ladies
I like
safe.
that now.
Well, it's funny when we are walking on a sidewalk. Typically the guy is supposed to be on the part closer to the street, so if something happens, your wife and kid are saved.
You can.
And I'm like, I tell you, if it's a bad day at the house and my kid's acting up, we go for a walk. I'm like, you can walk right there.
Yeah, you little heathens, get over there. Over there.
Yeah,
That's right.
Off the curb. Off the curb. So
let's test the road safety equipment. Go on, John.
Looks like our other guest is early, so I'm going to bring him up.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey, gentlemen, how's it going?
Welcome.
How are you?
Welcome to the party,
we were
pal.
expecting you for a bit.
I know.
Doing well. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, you got it. And I'll give you the same quick little thingy that we told Don backstage. Because you have a campaign as well. So if you can share your screen, it'll be easier because then you can go through it at your convenience. And we were just talking about Thanksgiving and stuff. And if everybody had a good one, how was yours?
Yeah, it was fun. I was with my family, my brother, his wife's in-laws. So it was fun. This is our fourth year we've been with her family. So I've kind of learned some quirks and things to expect. Like who's going to start the verbal argument and when's it going to happen?
I can answer that question for Dennis's brood over this past week. But I won't.
Those are all good things to know.
Yeah, it's always fun. It's just for me it is at least. But it was a good time. Got to watch some good football and have some good food and did a nice 10K in the morning. Got to work out. So yeah, it was a solid day.
Holy crap! Did you really
10K
on Thanksgiving, a holiday?
Yeah, in the morning. I'm a distance runner. So yeah, I get up early in the morning, go running, or in the afternoon, just go running, and yeah.
Wow, we're almost twinsies then, because I'm a distance watcher. I watch all those guys running all of that, and I was like, more power to you.
I'm a distance driver.
I also watch from a distance.
How far away is the store? 10K? Let me get in my car.
I'm a distance screamer. Watch. Oh! There we go.
Right.
Exactly.
What are your guys' all right, so let's go around. Favorite side dish on Thanksgiving?
Oh boy.
Oh hell, my mother's homemade stuffing, without a doubt.
Okay.
She takes the bread, she puts the herbs and stuff like that in, she stuffs it into the turkey, with the potatoes and all this other stuff, and you talk about some mouth-watering stuff and that you've never had before in your life. But when you get it, it's immeasurable to anything else. It is absolutely the best.
And Dolan, what about you? Hello?
I'd say green bean casserole. For me,
You were thinking, I get it. Okay.
Too many options.
Yeah, no, it really, for Thanksgiving, it really is. You never know. Is it broccoli casserole? Is it the green bean casserole? Is it cream of corn? You know, is it the rolls? But yeah, for me, it's green bean casserole.
Wow. Okay,
I've never had casserole a day in my
expected.
life. Never.
I didn't expect that. Not a Thanksgiving one. All right, Dennis, what about you?
So I'm normally there with you on the green bean casserole because I do love it. But because we had such a large array of people coming, we wound up doing, things that everybody likes. So that was not on it this year. But we made something brand spanking new that I've never done. It's called the pumpkin lasagna. And you're thinking, what? But it is a dessert. And so Val and she taught me how to make it from scratch. We did it the night before, homemade graham cracker crust. You put it down on it, you bake it, get the butter on there. And then it's, the puree of pumpkin, it's cream cheese, it's whipped topping. You put all this stuff together in layers. And and then you put it in the fridge. And what an absolutely wonderful dessert. First time I've ever had it. Way better than a pumpkin pie. Some of you might not believe that, but it was true, So, I'm going to say for this Thanksgiving, that was a really cool special treat.
Okay.
I'll say a close second to that is we have a homemade strawberry jello we make where it's strawberry jello on top. It's whipping cream in the middle and then crushed pretzel as the base at the bottom. And you toss that in the fridge for like overnight, and it should be all hardened if it's baked correctly, and it's delicious.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm side dish wise for me, it's the sweet potato, casserole with brown sugar, cinnamon covered the top, and then melted marshmallows on the top, and then sometimes there's almonds or pecans on top, sometimes not, but love that, and pretty much have it for Thanksgiving and Christmas, so twice a year.
Oh, that sounds
so there you go.
Sounds so
all right, Joe Bernardo, one last question. We'll get to the meat and potatoes of this show. Holiday question for you all. What movies do you have to watch between the holidays? Don, you're up first.
Welcome to the party, pal. It's got to be Die Hard every time.
Yep. No doubt. That was our first movie as well. Tree went up, topper went on. Susie's like, you ready for Die Hard? I'm like, yep, everything else can wait. Popped it in, watched Die Hard, took pictures, and then I know even Joe was in there. It has to be the first movie every year.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving Day, it is planes, trains, and automobiles, and WKRP in Cincinnati, the turkey episode that just is a must-see. But yes, after that, for Christmas, Die Hard is number one.
There you go.
Wow.
Dolan, what about you?
I'll say Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is one. Die Hard, likewise, is another. But I'm going to add Christmas Vacation. That's another one we watch
that's
every year.
And Elf.
And
Elf is usually pretty good too.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed here in Indiana, at least, the theaters, they show Christmas Vacation almost every week at different theaters, and they're always packed, sold out.
Oh, wow, that's
cool.
Cool, yeah.
Ours doesn't do that.
No, for me, it's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and then it would be Christmas Vacation, and I do like Elf, and because it's its 20th anniversary, they're doing limited showing, so we're actually going on Sunday to see Elf, because my daughter was actually born in 2003, so she wants to go see it on the big screen since she's only seen it on TV. So those are my three. I don't get me wrong, I love Die Hard. It's a great movie. Bruce Willis, it's great, but it's just not a go-to for me at Christmas, even though I know I've never argued it's not a Christmas movie. It's just not a go-to. That's all.
See,
You
Christmas
saved yourself for
Story,
last
when my
minute.
dad was around, that was one that he watched every year. So that was it. And we've already watched Elf. That's always our number 2. My son's favorite movie, even though he's not with us. Our relatives all love Elf. So Elf was our number 2 movie this year.
So you already watched that?
Yep.
After Thanksgiving, though.
Yes.
Just
Duh.
making sure.
After Die Hard. Die Hard's always the first. Tree goes up. Die Hard goes in. The rest of it's up for in the air.
Got it.
I can't believe nobody said the Star Wars Christmas special on VHS and Betamax. Nobody said
Oh,
that.
I've seen that for the first time last year because my daughter found it somewhere. I can't remember. So she made me watch it. Oh,
You know,
Cringe,
back in
right?
the day, that was my first bootleg copy. It was that, and then Roger Corman's Fantastic Four. I was at a convention. They bootleg tapes for $20. I had picked both of those up, and my tape didn't
You actually
last
seen
long,
that?
but that was, other than
Nice.
watching it live, which I did do, you know, that was, I got to watch it, and boy, it is still terrible, but man,
I've
it's
always
terrible.
wanted to see it just for fun. I've never gotten a chance to. I'm thinking about
Oh,
seeing
yeah,
if
it's
there's any on any of the Torrid streams.
The
It's not
guy
okay.
who plays Dr. Doom is really good in that. I'll say that.
I think the worst Marvel movie I ever saw was the Captain America from the 90s with Matt Salinger.
oh, they had the
Oh,
fake
yeah.
ears.
Yeah.
Had those fake ears. It's like, guys, you couldn't just do a mask where his real ears show. You had to do these fake looking things.
Yep. But still, I mean, I saw it on board the ship, so it wasn't that bad. You know, it was better than watching whatever they were watching. Usually, somebody would have a tape of the Faces of Death series that
Oh,
was
yeah.
going around at the time.
Oh,
That
yeah.
shit is brutal, dude.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
To watch something like that coming off a watch, it's like, whoa. This
Wow.
makes my life more interesting somehow. I don't know.
Now, some of you may keep up with those. I knew there were 5 was last I had seen, Faces of Death 5. So if you know in the chat how many there are total, I'd be curious.
Oh, there's a bunch. I think it went past 5. It was like a lot like the Girls Gone Wild series. That was also big back then.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I just didn't know there were more than 5. I
Yeah, I
will
think
get
it
rid of
was.
the hat.
I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Sometimes I am wrong. It's rare, but it happens.
Rare. Yeah. It's well, you and I share that in common.
But usually the chat's really quick, so somebody will
He's wrong all
probably
the
know
time.
this.
Somebody says 8.
8, see?
Wow.
That's
See,
incredible.
the chat
There's 8 of those
always
things.
knows. Never doubt the chat.
That's right.
I thought I heard that they kind of went down, I guess you could say, in quality as they went on to the point of going, oh, that doesn't even look real. Maybe that's just
Well, I think they got to a point where it's just there's too many Faces of Death. It's multifaceted.
well, you know, whenever I see a picture of Joe Biden, I think of Faces of Death. So
So Traces of Death, I've actually never even heard of that. So piqued my interest.
yeah, I'll have to Google search. Is that like where CSI shows up and they just try to figure out how the person died, the traces of death?
I don't know.
Get it.
We'll find out. I get what you're trying to do there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. It just went right over your head.
Yeah.
For a tall guy, that
Oh,
went
no,
right
no.
over your head.
I got it. I just didn't
No.
think it was funny.
You didn't. Whatever. Final Destination. That was a good movie. I like that series. But I was going to say one more for Christmas. I got to throw out there is Bill Murray Scrooged.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, classic.
I mean,
It
come
is.
on. That's a great one. Bill Murray Scrooged. I mean, and I like, A Christmas Carol and everything, but honestly, if I had the choice, I'd just take Scrooged over it.
My wife's was always It's a Wonderful Life. That was always like
Oh, yeah.
our second one.
Ah,
But after this year, Andy and I did go see It's a Wonderful Knife. So we did see the horror version of that movie. And yep, I've seen it.
and I saw
But-
something the other day, gentlemen, that I haven't seen since it came out in theaters. You ready for this?
Yep.
Home Alone, the first one.
Oh, yeah. Those were
And
always
As
good.
I'm watching it, there's so much stuff in there that I'm thinking that shit would not work today. That would not work today. That would not work today. That would not work today. But it's still funny. But I mean,
Oh, it
all
is.
this-
But
all the
that's
stuff you
just one of
see,
those
it's like,
movies.
they would never make that now in this
Oh, no.
politically correct world of ours. They would never do that today.
No, but
It
that's
wouldn't
one of
even
those
pass the
movies
last
that,
degree.
yeah, I've seen it, but I just have no, no interest in rewatching it. Like if I was flipping channels because I was bored and that was on, I'd just keep going, or I'd turn the TV off and just, maybe read or something. It's just not one I ever have. I saw it a few times, in the theater, then a few more times in the 90s, and it was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, it was good. Joe Pesci, great role. It was just fun. I enjoyed it. I just did.
So see, that is what I heard. So like, I've never seen a Faces of Death. I'll be honest. I heard about them. I've never seen them, but
Dude,
I've heard people say, "Oh no, it was all real." But then, like Artie Roy, he says it's all fake. So I don't know because I've never seen them.
Is the WWE now F?
They're real.
What
real.
Was that real or was that not?
I don't know.
I mean, I remember the ones that we were watching back in the day. They were showing like this one scene in particular. This one dude was standing. He was in college. They were doing some kind of a prank or a joke or whatever, and he was standing up on like the dorm roof. It was like a 3-4 story, and dude's like, "I'm gonna go. I'm gonna jump," and he's drunk off his ass, and he goes to run, and then all you hear is, and then they cut to something else. It's like, whoa, shit, dude's dead. You know what I mean? And there was a couple other ones, something like with a bed of nails, like dudes laying on the bed of nails, and then something gets lowered on top of them. It's some pretty raw shit, and it's totally uncensored. At least it was back then. I don't know how it, if it's changed any or not over the years, but yeah, dude, it was pretty good stuff, man.
All right, well, let's dive into the meat and potatoes of this show. Dennis, take it away. You always start the interview portion.
I do,
and I'm sure Donald will come back. His internet might have dropped or something. So
yeah, we apparently he has T-Mobile too. So we'll hopefully this all works out. Oh.
And Don turned his camera off now.
No, I'm still here. I just had to switch my camera off for a minute because my signal's getting weird again.
No, that's no problem. So
that's fine. You can still talk. That's what
one of the things that we always ask, because you're brand new to the show, first timer, is we always like to get your origin. So how did you get involved with into comic books and that, and then going back, what was the first comic book that you remember getting, either you bought or somebody gave you?
First comic book. This is a very good question because I've had so many over the years. It just kind of overlaps my memory. I'm going to go with Peter Parker Spider-Man. That's one of the first ones I remember back when he had the black Spidey suit.
Oh, okay.
I'm a huge fan of the black Spidey suit. I effing love that. And the Peter Parker Spider-Man back in the day was like one of the best ones going. I really, because it focused more on actual Peter Parker. Like they took the title to heart. I can't remember who wrote it. I can't remember who drew it. I'm not that much of a nerd. I can't remember all that information because my brain is small and only has a limited amount of capacity.
God, Peter Parker Spider-Man Black.
Yeah,
I want to say Greg LaRoque.
Because it was in the 90s, right?
My mom.
Peter Parker.
Yeah, back in the 80s.
No.
And we would
the run in the 90s. So not the decade, the 90s, issue numbers.
Oh. Yeah, but I think it was Greg LaRoque that drew that. Charles Vest, for the first issue, I think it was a Charles Vest cover because it was painted. I want to say the inside was Greg LaRoque. So he's back.
If anybody knows in the chat, what was the first one in Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man? But see if you know it off the top of your head.
And as far as getting into comics, dude, I've been into comics since I was like 4 years old. It's just we went to a flea market back when I was a kid, and there was just a stack of comics. I've always been a huge Marvel head, Marvel zombie, if you will. Sure. Iron Man, Avengers, Spidey is my go-to. I'm a huge Uncanny X-Men fan, and what they have done with the current trash that they call the X titles just makes me so sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even recognize that as the X-Men anymore. It's just horrible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man. The Claremont is God as far as I'm concerned when it comes to the writing of the X-Men. Loved all the Jim Lee stuff. I loved X Factor. All that good stuff, man.
Dude,
as far as getting into comic book art,
love it.
Always drawn as a kid. My dad brought home this huge roll of printer paper back in the when he used to work for this concrete company.
Mm-hmm.
And we laid it out on these little fold-up trays we used to have, cut a few sheets of it off, and we would just start drawing spaceships together, me and the old man. And it never stopped. It always, I've always been one of those guys that doodle into the margins of their paper. And got in trouble for it because I was always drawing, always doodling. I'm just that kind of guy. I love comics to death. He taught me how to read, gave me a great vocabulary. Kind of didn't have a lot of friends back in the day because of comics, because the school I went to, everybody's all like, jock. Football's big around here, sports, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Never really big into sports. I was always the nerd, man, reading the comics and wanting to talk about comics,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of me.
And what led you down the path of wanting to create them and do that?
Oh, dude. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about that. I was in the Navy and we were coming back from Desert Storm. I had been out of comics for a couple of years because, when you grow up, you think, oh, that's childish. I don't want to read comics no more. You do crazy shit to impress the girls and everything. So anyway, I'm standing in line at the PX and I saw the first 3 issues of the new X-Men by Claremont and Lee. And coming from the 80s comics, it was a drastic difference, right? And I saw those, I picked them up and I started leaving through them like, holy shit, this is what comic books are now? It was like serious, like watching a sci-fi movie, but on the pages, right? So I got those. And then like the next day I went back to see if they had anything else. And just down the aisle a little bit on the PX rack, they had Wizard number 9 with the Venom cover by your buddy, Matt Sears. Oh my God, I'm going to burn in hell. Bart Sears. And he was using the alias Whitman, the pen name, I mean.
Yep,
and
that's his middle name.
Image of Venom drooling on the cover. I was like, dude, I must see what's inside. And it was Wizard. And we all remember how Wizard used to be back when he was good before it got stupid.
Yeah, no.
That's when it was right before the Image boom. And ever since then, man, it was like I've been on board fully with comics. And then Image happened and I saw all the cool shit come out. And that's when I first created the Omega Mission back then, because I wanted a cool team of my own,
Sure.
And it's just been, I've always wanted to get into comics, but you know how it is, dude. Life gets in the way. You get responsibilities, you get a full-time job, shit like that happens, you move around. And it wasn't until very recently, maybe the last 10, 15 years was recent for me anyway, that I kind of found my way back in. I've done some freelance work on the Facebook, designed some characters for lots of people. I did a web comic for this guy, Tony DiGirolamo, for a couple of year or two called Old Time Gamer. That kind of, cut my teeth a little bit as far as getting back into it. I've done some, what do you call it? Like some video game storyboards that I don't ever really think saw the light of day. But I got paid for it, so whatever.
Yeah.
And then I just have toiled around, and then I got wind of Comicsgate, and I switched over to this beautiful community, and it's just been a never-ending stop joygasm for me. I fucking love it here, and I'm in it,
That's cool.
There's just so many amazing creators and properties out there, dude. It's just freaking sweet.
No, that's really cool.
It is. I looked it up, by the way. The first time Peter Parker in the Spectacular Spider-Man wore the black costume was 90. So I was pretty close.
It was 90.
It was 90. Yeah.
Did you look up who drew it, though?
No.
Yeah.
No, because
I think he first got into Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Right. That whole Whitman thing, when Bart did that, he did it because he wanted to he was friends with Gareb Shamus, the publisher, and he basically said, I want to do something and I want to sign, a different name just to see if somebody, Don's went, okay, well, I can finish the story. Just to see if the magazine with a total, unknown signed artist on the cover would sell or not. just off of wow, it's a cool image. It's not a big name. Who is Whitman? And yeah, I mean, it was one of their best-selling issues. So
testing it on a whim.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Isn't that awesome?
yeah. Well, Garrett was a big fan of Bart's stuff. So, you know, in the beginning of Wizard, Bart did a bunch of covers. He did some that never even saw print. He designed, and I think it was only in a few of the Wizard magazines, he actually designed this little cartoon wizard character. And that was like a little spot drawing they put, you know, different pages of the magazine and stuff. And that didn't last that long. And yeah, so he did that cover as Whitman just to see as a test, and it worked out. It sold like hotcakes. And yeah, Greg LaRocque did draw what? See, I knew I was right there. It wasn't Peter Parker, it was Webb. So
Yep.
There you go.
Yep, you were there. So, Dolan, while we're waiting, let's just ask you the same question because you're also new to the show. Your origin story and first comic.
Well, so my story goes all the way back to, I think, kindergarten or first grade. That was when I started reading comics. So growing up here in Indiana in the late 80s, before Diamond had their stranglehold on everything, my uncle ran a magazine comic book distribution plant in Indianapolis. So every week he would come to our house and have a big cardboard box filled with all these damaged comic books. And he'd be like, "Here you go, guys, read up." So every week we were getting comics for free, just reading. So at that point, we're reading everything that was coming out from the new X-Men stuff, all the 0 Hour, Elseworlds, all the new Image stuff, Nightfall, Death and Return of Superman, reading them all for free. And just we were kids in the candy store, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Cool.
That is.
Do you still have any of those or no?
I still have my Death of Superman black bag variant my uncle gave us. He dropped them off at our house, I think a day or so before they hit the stands. He had like a manila envelope, and he said, "Here you go, guys." Just kind of like just did like a little hush thing, and we're like, "Oh my god, these are it!" And so I remember,
dude. I remember when that came out.
That's awesome.
And it was all over the news. We were in the Gulf at the time, I believe, and that was actually making headlines. And I was just dying to get that, you know.
Yeah, I went to I was living in Florida.
Bands and shit. Yeah, it was cool.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I was living in Florida, and a buddy of mine, a few guys I knew, you know, partnered up to open a comic shop, and one of them went down at 4 a.m. for a morning news hit and stuff for the local station in Orlando. And yeah, man, I remember getting up and going down there with them just to, you know, be behind the scenes and check it all out and whatnot. It was crazy. So, I mean, 30 years ago, because they're doing the 30th anniversary stuff this past year with it. So it's crazy to think that it was that long ago. Now, Dolan, do you still have, so the one that you have, I assume, because it sounds like you still have it bagged and stuff?
Yeah, it's still bagged. It's a little beat up.
Yeah. Right.
Moved around a lot, but I still got it.
That's freaking cool.
That's a lockbox, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's not a lockbox. It's still in a short box, but that wasn't my first comic I read. My first comic I ever read was Adventures of Superman 453, and I still have that issue. That is beat to hell. And I met Jerry Ordway, and I had him sign it for me because, like, to me, Jerry Ordway's Superman is my Superman, and I got to meet him and had him sign it. So yeah,
very cool.
I'm trying to remember what was on. Was there anything memorable about that one or no?
Well, to me it is because it was during the Exiled when he was going off. He was on this issue. He was on a planetoid. He was running out of air. And he was hallucinating that he was seeing Lex Luthor, Brainiac, and Zod because he had just killed. He had more or less, he had killed the three super criminals, and he was hallucinating seeing them like they were like messing with his head. And it's a great issue. And when you're a kid reading this, you're like, "What is going on? Is Superman losing his mind? What's happening?"
I remember that. Well, that's why I asked. Because I had all those
like when
too.
Mongol puts the plant on them. That was good too.
Yeah.
Oh, that annual that Alan Moore wrote. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that was a good
That
issue.
was classic.
Oh, that is fantastic. And it's Dave Gibbons' artwork. That's just classic. Dennis wouldn't know because he's like, oh, DC, who cares? But
I no, there is truth to that. I was way more of a Marvel. I did get some. I was getting some Batman, some Green Lantern. Well, I was Green Lantern, and then some Superman. And but yeah, I wound up ditching most of that. I'm an X-Men guy through and through, and that's what I collected. So it's just what it was. That's why I've got all the X-Men. I've stopped collecting X-Men now because their stories suck. But up until that, it was awesome for decades and decades. I can just sit down and reread them.
So
My
Don,
favorite
the
DC
second
character,
comic.
Green Lantern. Sorry, dude. That didn't mean to go over you.
I was going to tell Don, since he's an X-Men fan, that the second comic I ever read was the X-Men 166 when they were facing the Brood.
Yeah,
That was great.
Yeah, and
yes,
there's one panel, like the one panel, like I distinctly remember, is when Wolverine rips the visor off Cyclops' eyes, and you see his eyes just bugged out. Like that panel is forever burned in the back of my retinas.
The Brood took a lot of garbage. Oh, they just ripped it off of Aliens. You know what? Don't care. They're awesome. Everything about them. Those stories were great. Bit of horror element to them. It was fun.
And I gotta throw this out there real quick. My favorite cover, comic book cover. No disrespect to any of the creators that might be watching in the house later, or currently Mr. Andy Smith, who I freaking love your work, dude. But
well, thank you. I haven't done that many covers, so I never expect that. So
Andy Kubert X-Men, where Cyclops is blowing the hell out of everything. I don't remember I think it might be 44. I'm not totally certain.
I know what you're talking about. Isn't it mostly red?
Yeah, dude, it is bad. Because I'm a Cyclops lover myself. I love that dude. He does not get the proper respect in the comics at all. It's like most people who write him don't even know how to write him, They always make him sound like a complete asshole. And he's not. He wouldn't be. I don't think he would be that way.
Pretty much was a lot of the time.
I disagree, Dennis.
Self-absorbed, and it's just, but you're right, it's always whoever was writing him. And if you go all the way back to the original, when the original team were together starting in 1, the way that he wrote him, he's the leader. He's always got this stuff on his head, and he's got the thing for Jean, and it's always about the writers and what they try to do. Sometimes they could just nail him, and there are other times you just wanted to hate Scott Summers just because of how they wrote him. And Alex wasn't a lot better. His brother, and that we won't even get into.
God. So many people have dropped the ball on Alex Summers, man. So many. One of the few writers that ever got him right, in my opinion, Peter David, when he did his run on X Factor, especially with Joe Quesada, I think.
Yep.
Oh my God, dude! Especially the psychiatrist's office, which you wouldn't think would be a great issue. That is just awesome to read. Like it's so much in-depth characterization. Just I know it's just talking heads, but between the art and David's writing, it's legend, total legend.
Well, I think that's why when you do stuff like that, the artist, I'd rather look at that, even though it's kind of like talking heads and stuff like you said. But Joe's style back then was really visually interesting. Yeah. And I'd rather look at that than some of the newer stuff out today, which is, kind of bland and just boring because they're just trying to get too real with it or something. And it's like, well, I don't much. Yeah, I just don't care. I love Joe's stuff from that time.
It's the same thing with Stephen Platt. Like Platt when he was Raw back in the day, man. I mean, you could not deal with that. It was just too awesome. And he's still got a lot of elements to it. He's still a fine as hell artist, but I mean, it's too refined now. I think it's just too perfect. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, then X Factor also never got the love I think it deserved. It was a really good story, but the problem was it wasn't X-Men enough for some people. Yeah. And I thought the writing was just absolutely fantastic, And then, what Angel had to do when he took into the transformation of Archangel. I mean, it was just some really gripping stuff.
Yeah, that was badass. And I love the whole where they were working as like a secret branch of the government, like a offshoot agency with what's his name, Val. Now that shit was tight. I like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But what they did after, it's terrible. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. That's why they crossed the line.
I think you're right.
To the X-Men, man. Like, CG version X-Men, We could throw Andy on the book doing the writing. Me and Dennis can team up. We can write that bad boy. And we'll just make that shit happen. We'll even get Dude over here on the side. Is he still here? Did he leave?
We're not stunning him brave enough. That's why we're not on it.
We'll let you
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll
real quick.
sell it. We'll make a couple of $1 million and buy Marvel and do everything our way. F them.
There you go. Art Roy says thinks Casada uses digital figures than digital drawing over that now. I agree. I think Joe's using Poser or some program like that. It just looks like it. I mean, look, Joe, if you see this and I'm wrong, let me know. But it totally looks like it because the style went from something that you could tell was more exaggerated and stylized out of his head to the lighting is just so on. And I've played with those programs and it's just, I'm just like, oh, I'm so bored. I'd rather just start from a white
Can I
piece
say
of paper.
something, Andy? I hate, it sounds like I'm cutting you off. I don't mean to be disrespectful, dude. But the Poser thing, I get that because I was working on Omega Mission, my book, by the way, a couple days ago. And I was having a hard time pulling this pose off where I got my villainess, Domina. She just got done beating the crap out of my dude, Sovereign. And she's holding him up, right? And they're on the moon. And I wanted to have it where you're behind them, that POV, sure. Right? And I couldn't freaking nail it, right? So I says, okay, F it. Let me cheat a little bit and let me download this, not Poser, but it's called, I can't remember. It's on my tablet. And I kind of posed the figures and I didn't trace over it. I used it as reference, but I swear, while it helped, it didn't look like my drawing, right? And I'm like, I put it away for a couple days, and I went back to it. I'm like, all right, now that I maybe I'll retain a little bit of muscle memory from having drawn that. And then I redrew it. Oh God, so much better. It looked like me, like before it didn't look like me. And I've noticed that a lot of artists, you can tell when they use reference, especially when they try to add like real life cameos of like celebrities or whatnot in the comic book panels. You can always tell. I can always tell when they use reference because it doesn't look like them. It looks stiff. It looks like they just there's still life in there. I mean, nothing against them. I get it. Drawing can be hard sometimes when you got to draw like a horse or a car or something like that. That's something you would mess with every day. But I don't know, man. It's just kind of throws it off a little bit. Kind of takes you out the story a little bit,
Yeah, it's a tool like anything else, and you just kind of have to.
Did you just call me a tool? How dare you?
No. I said it's. No. If I called you a tool, I'd go, you're a tool like anything else.
Yeah, you call me a tool, brother. I would be honored. It's all good.
All right, well, let's get into these campaigns. Don, why don't you share your screen, and we can talk about yours, and then after that, we'll talk about Dolan's Unholy Nightmare and do that.
All right, I'm going to attempt to share this, and hopefully my internet won't crash. All right, are we seeing it?
I'm seeing it. It's right there.
This is Omega Mission God's Eye, everybody, and that's my ugly mug up there in the top right. This is my dream. This is my comic. Excuse me. It's been messing around in my head for over 30 years. My very first creator-owned comic. Okay, I'm doing the writing, the art, the colors, the lettering, and I can't edit it, so I got Mark Polton, who was kind enough to offer his wisdom on this little book of mine to help me out. So anyway, this is a little letter I wrote, just like a word for me, talking about Comicsgate. And, Ethan threw a little something out there on one of his streams about how he never gets any actual proper gratitude from anybody for starting the comic or being one of the figureheads of the Comicsgate movement. So I kind of threw that in there. So I was hoping he would see it and be like, yes, I must get Don on my show, but that never happened. So it's okay though. It's all good. So anyway, on to the good stuff. Omega Mission is a sci-fi superhero action adventure comic. It's about the real happenings of the fact that there is no God, no devil, the truth behind mankind's past is a lie, as it says here in the picture. An ancient evil returns from a long exile in the cosmos to reclaim the earth as their own. And only the Omega mission stands in the way of mankind losing our home and our lives to the threat of humanity. You see how I did a little play on words there. Most people think mankind and humanity are the same thing, but guess what? As we learn today, it is not. Humanity are the ancient aliens that once ruled the earth like the roost in the hen house. They got really addicted to the feelings of adoration of having the little cave dwellers called mankind come out of their caves and build statues and worship them as gods, false gods. And there was a little sect of the humans that broke off and said, you know what, we don't like this. It's all to the little cave people. We want to share this world with them. We want to have love. We want to have families. We want to interbreed, baby. So there's a little fight between them, as we'll see. Real quick shot here. War. And don't worry, this is all going to be colored later. I will be doing the colors.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, there was a fight, and of course the good guys won, and there were some humans that stayed behind, and they says we're going to help protect these species of people that we have come to love, and we're going to yeet these other bad humans out into the world, the universe, and we're just going to throw them out into space and hope they never come back. So they utilized the rest of their existing technology, and they opened a portal to the farthest reaches of the universe. They sent them through it, the Great Exile, as we call it, and they thought everything would be fine. They thought that they had won the war against the evil. And then so many thousands of years have passed, and now they're back. They have found their way back, and they're coming to reclaim the earth as their own. And that's where the story picks up. Right as that happens, they completely beat the ass of the one superhero team that's kind of like the JLA of my universe. I call them the Trust. And the ship comes down over top the reflecting pool in Washington, D.C., and the Trust shows up, and they're like, hey, who are you? Why are you here? Why do you look evil? And the bad guys, of course, they're like, because we are evil. And they throw down, and they just get the floor completely mopped, the Trust does, you know? They don't stand a chance. And the Omega mission, who basically all this time has been in use to help with like natural disasters, a kind of a rescue force, if you will. They're all that's left. They're the ones, the guy Sovereign, the leader of the Trust, he goes to the Omega mission, who he doesn't really like, by the way. And he's like, yeah, we just got our asses kicked and we need your help. And then this is when they find out that the humans have come back. And Julian Kane, who is up here, this guy here on the left, he is a human. And he was the one that helped exile them in the first place. And he actually has remained behind. He's helped build humanity, as it were. He's kind of been like the benefactor all these years, you know. And he's something like the Tony Stark of my universe. He's used the technology, his knowledge, and got hundreds of billions of dollars. And he built the Omega mission as a way to help the humans, not humans, man, you know, to in times of trouble, in times of natural disaster, kind of, you know, help us out, you know. And now he knows that the humans are back, it is on like Donkey Kong. And it's just it's my love letter to comics in general. I've always been a fan of 90s style. I love that way of writing, that way of art. Not a lot of talking heads. Hopefully a lot of action to whet your appetite. And like I said, I'm doing this all on my own, you know, my first time ever. So
it says, Joe says, Don, you have a sketchy Silvestri style.
Oh, dude, you honor me. Right. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Lee Silvestri house, Wildstorm, Top Cow.
Yeah. So are you going to be coloring this yourself?
Yeah. I don't know if I still have this one panel that I colored. I might have took it down because I'm stupid. But this is an exclusive trading card that's going to go to he goes by Loudness on the Twitter. He helped us get over the 600. He helped us get to the $600 mark. And he's the only one that's ever going to get this trading card. This is the bad guy. This is the Monotrox. So this is a little glimpse into the kind of evil you're looking at here, right? So yeah, But yeah, a little funny story. As we all know, Don was in the service. And
Yep.
at the time when Wildcats #2 came out, and they had that little ad in the back, they were looking for comic book artists. And I was all ready to do my thing, man. And then we got on a Westpac, and I was called away for 6 months. So unbelievable, right? I could have been right there with J. Scott Campbell and all the rest of them, but no, I was serving my country.
Well, thank you for that.
Yep. We have to thank you for that.
But it's all good, man. Over the years, I've tried my hand at it, and I wanted to do some stuff.
I was going to say, why don't you show us some of the tiers that you've got?
Yeah, no problem. Let me run up here.
Yeah,
okay, so the tiers.
How many pages
is
this going to be?
It's going to be 60 pages. I wanted to do more, but Mark was like, "You're going to kill yourself. Don't do that. It's your first book. You got to make sure."
Yeah, Mark's great. Mark Bolton's awesome. So that's all great advice.
Yeah, he is totally the bee's knees. All right, so what we got here is I don't know why that's up here at the top. It shouldn't be. But we start off with the Crack-a-Lacka tier. This is for my international fans because, as we all know, the postage is effing brutal. And I don't even know if I would be able to afford to send like $100 package for a $25 book to like Australia or something. I mean, I would love to, but I'm not rich. So this is a PDF version for $10. You get the PDF or the CBR, that's comic book reader format, which I will be more than happy to send to anybody who signs up for it right through the email. You'll get that. My tears are all jacked up today. What's going on with this? Like the 20, there it is. Nope, that's gone. Okay, something happened to the Fund My Comic thing. Anyway, it's supposed to be $25. I'm going to have to fix this later. I don't know what happened. $25, you get the comic itself, and all the comics will be signed by myself and Mama Donna. She's the head of Diamond D Studio. That's the little imprint that we're using to get this out there. For $45, we call it the All That in a Bag of Chips tier. You get the comic, and you get the 12 core team member trading cards that I'm currently working on now. That's all the members of the Omega Mission, plus the comic, and the comic, of course, will be signed in that. And as a special, I got 5 traditional art pieces that I'm doing for this comic, only 5. And if you're feeling ballsy and you're up for it and you want some awesome Don Edwards comic book art up on your wall or in your lockbox, $250 plus shipping will get you a page of original art from me that's just not out there in the world. I mainly do everything traditional. So boom, there that is. And yeah, dude, I mean, it's a lot of work. I am finding out this is a lot of work, but there's a lot of love to it too, right?
That is right.
I love it. I'm finding out it's a lot of work. It sure is. Are you doing the lettering too? So you're doing, you said everything, lettering as well?
Yeah. I'm doing it all. How does it look to you? How does it look? Does it look like a comic so far?
Yeah. I asked about the lettering because, I know how to letter, but I'm not nearly as, good as my buddy Steve, who has been doing it for 30 years. So
yeah, I taught myself how to letter years ago, and I actually got a couple of gigs lettering for some off the wall indie comic studios back in the day.
Oh, cool.
They're not even in business anymore. But yeah, I've done some lettering. I even did some coloring, like for Dojo Kun. I colored his campaign that he's got now, that new cover. He asked me to redo that for him because the other one just wasn't meshing too well for him. So I've done that. And like I said, I've done a lot of character designs for people over the years that I don't even get credit for, but whatever, man. I don't care. I love this shit so much. I love to draw independent characters more. Like, I'm not going to lie. I get the craving to do like a Wolverine here and there, or a Spidey, or even a Superman. It's weird when I try to draw something like a Superman or a Batman, I feel like I never get them right. It's so weird. So I try to stay away from them. They seem like they're too familiar. Yeah. But when I do my own characters, it's like,
I know what you're talking about. Until you do it, until you draw them enough, it's kind of weird. I totally understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, it's like, this doesn't look like Clark Kent to me. Like I drew it. I know what he looks like, but when I put it on the thing, it's just like, what are you doing? It's not Superman. You're a retard. Don't do
You're
that.
just used to having so many other images like in your head of what other people have done and stuff. So I totally understand what you're saying,
Yeah, I
Trust
mean,
me, I get it.
I'm not the only one. You've actually run into that yourself.
Oh yeah, the first time the first time I've drawn any characters when I first started working and stuff that were, bigger name characters and stuff, I felt that way, but I also was just like, well, obviously I'm not used to seeing it like that because it's never been done before. So
Yeah,
once you
that's
start
true.
doing it, it just
It's like
becomes
somebody commissioned
second
me.
nature. You get used to seeing it and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and it looks like the campaign's going to run through Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we're closing out on Christmas Eve, which that's not what I wanted, but apparently this is a bad time to start a campaign. Like the ass end of the year is just terrible. And I should have known, but I wasn't thinking because I was really excited and I was doing this. I wanted to get it out there. So this
Was
is
it going to be? It's not going to be totally closed.
Yeah, I don't even know if
like
closing on.
Well, I mean, so it won't be like a in demand like Indiegogo does.
I don't even know if my comic does that. If it does, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I think they do because I think Kelsey's sketchbook is still up that way.
Oh, well, cool. Then, yeah, I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep this project alive.
Yeah, I mean, I would check. I would check because you never know. You might be able to. And I mean, it's not like you can't get a hold of Luke. So I would check and just be like, hey, I just realized this is Christmas Eve. Is there any way we can push this 4 or 5 more days later?
Most definitely. Yeah.
It can't hurt. No, and then if you can do that, you can get it up there now. So then if people go to it now, they see, oh, it goes past it a few days.
Because we is for those of you watching later, because we've got live guys, but we also have people that'll watch it throughout. We will leave all the links to both Don's and Drew's campaigns down below, so you can just reference them and go right to them.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dennis. You guys.
And speaking of, can you share your screen, or do we need to bring it up?
I should be able to share mine. Give me one.
Oh,
share.
Yeah. Well, definitely good luck. That looks cool. And the other thing I would say is if you can get once you get the coloring stuff up, if you can, extend it, pop up some of the coloring, because I know everybody loves to see what it's going to look like colored.
Yeah, I'm actually, I like to go a couple of like 10, 20 pages in, and then I go back and then I start doing some of the lettering and coloring. I'm actually, I was working on some coloring yesterday, as a matter of fact. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that'll help if you can, get them. Like when I do a campaign, every one I've done, pretty much what you see on the campaign, which is like 5 pages, is pretty much what I have done when I launch.
Yeah. So Randy says it does allow you to go into demand, and Marcus said it leaves it in the store. So yeah, guys, you just have to go in and do your settings, but I would recommend that.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm going to make it happen.
All right. So there we go. Let's talk about Unholy Nightmare. Unholy Nightmare is also what I call whenever I wake up and realize, why the fuck was Dennis in my dream last night? I know. It was an unholy nightmare. That's why.
Yeah. Well, for most people, it's a really cool thing, and they'll give me the thumbs up. That's cool.
And then a night terror, which kids usually have, is when Dennis is in my dream and he takes me to a Packers game. That is what I call a night terror.
Because it's when the Packers beat the Cowboys, like in the Ice Bowl, and every year after that. So, yeah, I understand the terror part. It feels like it. Yeah,
I don't think
the catch that wasn't a catch. Yeah, okay.
Oh, no, it was a catch.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's why they
this
made
art
it.
Looks pretty badass.
It wasn't a catch after that.
Oh, yeah, but it wasn't during that game.
Right.
Once again, had to change the rules for the Cowboys.
Oh, I see.
We understand how this works.
Whatever.
So, Drew, give us the lowdown on Unholy Nightmare.
So yeah, Unholy Nightmare is effectively heroes becoming monsters to take down evil monsters. This is the pitch, and the art is by Aurelio Mazzara, my artist from the series Born of Blood. He did issues 5 and 6, and he came to me with this concept that he had all these different characters, and I was working on 4 different scripts at the time, most of which were for Murat Michaels. And
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm working a lot with Murat Michaels right now.
I want names out there.
What's that?
Throwing the names out there. Go ahead with your bad self.
He's keeping me busy. I mean, Born of Blood I guess it got a lot of attention, and he saw, oh, this kid does have some talent.
Yeah, man.
And he really was sending me these character designs, and I'm like, this is great. I don't know what you want me to do with them, but this is great. And he was saying that he was thinking about putting them together for a superhero team. And I was telling myself, don't say yes. Don't say yes. You're busy. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's look at these characters. And then the more we talked about them, and we started formulating like the backstories and figuring out where who the good guys were, the bad guys were, and the just overall story arc. And I just said to myself, shit, we got a story here. And I said, all right, man, let's do this. And so this all began in March, and before we knew it, I had a second draft done in, I think, April or May. And yeah, we have 6 pages. They're fully completed up here. Yeah, so we're funded now, so we're going to finish the last 20. So this is the opening page right here. And
it's killer.
Yeah, just getting into some of the action, just showing some of the art, and this is what to expect. There's now no decompressed storytelling. It's gonna be a lot of just heads getting smashed in. Just
this is what comics should be right here. 100%. I love this.
Yeah, and horrors. We got monsters. Just this is what we want. This is stuff I wanted when I was a kid reading Image comics in the 90s. And if you like the stuff in the 90s, you're gonna love this.
My brother.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I would say too, yeah, if you want to play the video, feel free. So,
sure. Yeah.
Oh, you had one.
Yep, I do. Give me 1 second. There it is.
Oh. In the dark streets of Chicago, a mysterious masked hero fights against the forces of evil. He is the Recluse, and as a secret ally, a cop who goes undercover in the criminal underworld. Together, they face a deadly new threat, a drug that turns humans into monstrous creatures. As they try to stop the drug trade, they discover a hidden realm of horrors that will test their courage and loyalty. Will they survive?
The Unholy Nightmare.
From the creators of the hit comic book series Born of Blood, R. Elio Mazzara and Dolan Waddick, comes a new action-packed adventure that will take you to the edge of your seat. Enter a world where superheroes and monsters collide, and nothing is what it seems. Don't miss Unholy Nightmare, the comic book event of the year.
Well, shit, man, I quit. You got Batman to narrate your trailer. I'm done.
Exactly. Randy said that. Batman's the narrator.
Yeah, who did, now, did you narrate that, or did you...
I had someone make the trailer for me. I don't know what she did, but she got Batman somehow. I don't know her way.
She sounds like that. Holy crap!
That's a great trailer.
It was. I like that.
Yeah,
when Dennis and I do conventions, we usually share a hotel room, and in the morning when he says good morning, it sounds just like that. So I was like, holy crap.
But that's just because I'm coming in through the window from my nightly patrol.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta get all the blood off your cape. We understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you want to go through the pledge levels and stuff too, sure. Let's do it.
Yeah. So I wrote about the trailer. I learned from I've been on Ethan's channel a few times. I think I've been on there with you too.
Yep.
But Ethan has said that the magic timing is like a minute for a trailer, like a minute or less. So
yeah,
I kind of stuck with that. The trailer was just about a minute.
No, I agree with that too. I had a longer one 3-4 years ago when I first started, and I get it down to a minute. And depending on the project, if it's 30 seconds, 40 seconds, that's fine too. So
yeah. So we got a digital PDF you can get here for $5. Once it's finished, once the story's finished, that's going to go out. Then we got our the retail cover for $10 by Andrew Mangum. So,
okay, cool.
How many pages?
It's going to be 26 pages. The first 6 are done, so now we're finishing up the last 20.
Okay.
Yep, and we're already working on issue 2 as well at the same time. So yeah, we're working ahead.
Oh, very
And,
cool.
yeah, we got this one right here, the Primeval variant, which is done by some friends of Aurelio's in Italy, and that's going to have 3 different variants. We get a little further down, but here's one by Joe Ball. Joe Ball is a friend of Phil Diaz, the Diaz brothers.
Oh,
Yeah.
And, so Phil recommended this guy to me, and we actually have the black and white variant up here as well as the Virgin cover, because I've got the OA up on my wall because I love it. So we're like, we're making the black and white of the Virgin variant of it, and we just said screw it. We're going to go ahead and spoil the secrets and stuff on the covers because this is our first comic. We don't know how well it's going to do, so let's just let it all out there.
Yeah, F it, make it all happen.
Yeah.
Boom.
And I call this our Animorphs cover right here.
Oh, that's cool.
In the 1990s. This is by Jen Leonard. She's a relatively new artist. She's doing a lot of work now with Zenoscope and Dynamite.
Okay.
Yep. So she gladly did this one for us. And
that's a cool transition.
Yeah. And we got one down here.
It's funny. I saw that and I was actually thinking, boy, that kind of looks like a Zenoscope cover.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. And we got one here by another one by Aurelio right here. He did this in a day, and we got it colored the same day, and he nailed it. And this one's by Murat Michaels, and I think he had Ezekiel Dominguez colored it for him. But this is beautiful. Some of his better work, in my opinion.
That's nice looking.
Are those feet on her head?
Yes. So she is.
See, now I want the book even more.
She is based on the Sicilian flag, and Aurelio just had this idea for this character based on the flag, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I think I can make this work." So we're gonna see how well it plays out. Her name is Trinacria, and she's gonna play a major role in the plot as we get further along in the series.
And this chick is all screwed up. She's got feet on her head, snakes for hair. I bet she's fun on a date.
And really did this one as well. In the V spot, like a movie I saw. What? There was a movie.
I know there was, Andy.
It was live action too. So I'm not making it up. Boy, Dennis always gives me crap. Like I'm just trying to bring the show down. I'm not, just stating a fact. Damn, Dennis.
Come on now.
We're going to have to review that. Sorry.
So yeah, whoa, bring that back down. Bring that back down. I saw something. The hand. Her hand, it's got the clap, the one she's looking, but the other one, I see SEX. Is that intentional?
Right here?
Yeah, I see SEX. Anybody else see that?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I never noticed that until now. I'm gonna.
You ruined me. You start doing it. I look for it everywhere now. Yeah, look at that.
I'm gonna ask him if that was intentional.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
It kind of has to be.
Yes.
Subliminal.
Wow. I love the subliminal. It's not so subliminal, actually.
Well, Ethan did that in an issue of X-Men. He was hiding the word sex.
Certainly did. I remember seeing that and going, yeah, do it, man. Make that happen.
Dennis never saw it, but once he put the book down, he started dry humping everything, and now we know why. Subliminal messaging apparently works.
Man, this is a shit I deal with every day.
What are you talking about? Did you tell me that? I forgot.
And so yeah, we got Virgin cover. We got the set. Virgin cover, the wrap cover, and this one we got. And there's the black and white for that one.
Oh, damn! The black and white looks better than the color.
Yeah, it really does. And just we saw it. We're like, this is the cover in itself. It doesn't need to be colored, but we just said, yeah, screw it. Let's
beautiful work right there.
Yeah,
that line art, it's just awesome.
The cover looks great, but we'll actually absolutely get a major eye roll from my wife.
And just got more of the Virgin covers, and this one's going to have a gold foil variant for it because
oh wow,
yeah, ooh, gold foil.
So it is starting to feel like Image.
Yeah.
Yeah. No scratch and sniff yet, but yeah, we're getting there.
Okay.
I hear you.
Yeah, we got the complete sets you can get, the Virgin covers if you want those, and we did a special on Friday where we did a $10 discount on people for people that if they want to buy like a set of the Trade Dress and Virgin, it'd be $30 instead of 40. And then we had options to be drawn into the comic, OA to purchase, and I think most of those are gone now, but which is good.
Very good.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, we got one, like a little more than a day left. So yeah, we're just hoping to.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just hoping to get as many more people as we can.
So I guess when it's because it's on Kickstarter, so when it's over, is it? I guess it's over, or are you going to try and put it on a different platform afterwards, or no?
So it's going to go into Backer Kit, which creates a store where people can go into and purchase other stuff and or back it if they didn't get a chance to. And we have talked about putting it on another platform. I think it's called Goop. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, Zoop.
Zoop. That's it. Zoop. That's it. Yeah.
Wow. Yep. That's another one that's growing rapidly. Howard Chaykin.
So many names, and they stuck with that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So we're gonna try Zoop after this, and it's already a success. But we'd like to make some more. And so
look how close you are to 666 on this for Unholy Nightmare. That would be awesome.
Yes. Oh, that would be really sweet. That would be pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
That'd be real cool, actually.
No, Don is not a devil worshiper. Usually, it's okay.
Just $505 away.
Yeah,
that's right. You did that pretty quick.
That is what happens, yes, when you actually use this.
Oh, yeah. See, you see the back of this, but on the front, I see a calculator app.
You do not.
So I do.
You do if it's etched onto your glasses.
Hey, man.
Some of us can do stuff on our head without taking our shoes and
we
socks
are on
off
video.
to
You
count.
could prove me wrong.
I could prove you wrong.
Just
hey, wait, don't close it. What? He just closed it.
Oh,
everyone.
yeah. No. This is all cerebellum.
You literally just
break out the algebra. Look out. Here we go.
Off camera. Dennis's highest grade of math was what did they do in the third grade? Whatever that was.
Which you never even made it to, apparently. English, because you couldn't remember the name.
We were born the same year, and you graduated high school a year after because you had to be held back because the Velcro was too tough on your shoes.
Actually, everybody would. Whatever.
Hey, at least dude is not so dumb he tripped over a cordless phone. I know a few people that are like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so there you go. That's one thing about Zoop. They do take care of a bunch of stuff. They take a little higher percentage because I know a couple people that use them. So, but
another good option.
That's right. And of course, there's always Fund My Comic.
Sure
there's
they're
lots
not
of
just getting more money to save up to pay for a better name.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it sticks.
They've been around for a few years now, so I think, and they're growing. So it's I look at it like this. It's like. I hear you. When my Bart actually did one of their very first campaigns with a sketchbook of just head sketches he did and stuff, which came out really nice. And all of us were scratching our head over it. But at the same time, you could always think of it like you don't forget it because you're just like, why that name? Why that name?
I'm just mad because I was going to use the name Zoop for my firstborn and now I can't.
I hear you.
Yeah, you could. It's not trademarked. You're fine.
That's true.
Your kid might be upset.
Here we go. Let's do it. Zoo Junior. Zoo 2, 3, and 4.
All right, so let's meet the monsters here. The creative crew.
Yep, there's me. Yours truly. And then we got Aurelio Mazzara right there.
I've heard a few of these people.
Yeah.
Kel Nuttall. I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's really creative. His lettering is really damn good. And Gene Jimenez. So when Aurelio and I did this, we were just getting suggestions from people like, "Hey, do you have a good letter you recommend? Do you have a good colorist you recommend?" And both these guys killed it, and no pun intended. And we love it. We love their work. We're happy, and we can't wait to see what they bring to the remaining 20 pages of this first issue.
Nice.
See, this is where I screwed up. I'm trying to do the whole thing myself. You were smart and divvied it out amongst people. I should try that next time.
It's a different process. I mean, whichever way you go, it's a completely different process.
Yeah.
I'm just
When's
a
your
control freak. That's all.
What are you guys looking at for? And I forgot to ask you this too, Don. What's your fulfillment? What's your target?
For me, I'm hoping for mid-June if all goes well. If not, well, we'll just play it by ear.
Okay.
Sure.
What about you, Drew?
Yeah.
We're hoping for spring, probably around April or May time frame. And but
Nice.
if it hits the shan, then we're saying like October at the latest. But yeah, hopefully spring next year.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just you keep the backers updated and you're fine. It's when people drop away and drop out of sight and don't update and stuff that they get finicky about stuff. But I think as long as you keep people updated and you're honest and the communication's always there, I think, you won't have a problem. I mean,
Wait, you have to be
does
honest? Oh, damn.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm screwed. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
I've been
Well, that's
ghosted
cool,
this whole
man.
time. Damn it. I knew I should have done better.
Yeah, you're fine.
That's a joke, people. That's a joke.
Oh, we know. Now that looks good.
Know.
That looks good. Well, since we have brought up some football talk and stuff, either one of you guys into NFL stuff or no?
Back in the day, I was a 49ers fan. Montana
Well,
Rice all
Joe
the way,
Bernard is
baby.
going to like to hear that because he's a
Was
Niners
classic.
fan.
But I don't really watch the feet ball no more since the old man passed. That was kind of our thing. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to bring the stream down.
No, it's okay. Totally understandable. Totally understandable. What about you, Drew?
Yeah, every week I'm actually in a fantasy football league with Murat and several others. But yeah, so I watch college and pro football all the time. So, yeah.
So who's your pro team?
Oh, it's the Colts. I'm here from Indy. So yeah, it's the Colts.
Okay. You know what? I got to be honest, and I'm not even. If Dennis would know if I'm poking fun, I'm actually not. What are they? Just kind of like mid-grade this year? I really don't know what their record is.
No, I'll say this: they're doing better than we thought they would. I mean, they're mid-grade. They're 6-5. I think they actually have the number 7 seed right now, according to if the playoff ranking. If the playoffs were to happen today, they have the number 7 seed. But
so they're wild card bound then.
Yeah, and this is with the backup quarterbacks with the Gardner Minshew.
That's right. Okay, I do remember the game, but because he played this past weekend. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, and
that's not bad. What about college? Indiana, same for college, I take it.
Yeah, Indiana and kind of Notre Dame a little bit. And when I was stationed when I was in the Air Force, I was stationed overseas. I had a buddy who was from Alabama. He was a big Bama fan, and he was really educating me on the SEC and the Alabama. So I'm kind of an Alabama fan by default sometimes through him.
Oh, okay. So out of curiosity, since you mentioned you were in the Air Force, look at this. We had 2 guys that served, and then there's the 2 of us who did not. What did you were you a flyer or what did you do?
Oh, I worked in supply and logistics. I was supporting a lot. I was supporting a lot of the people who were working on the aircraft with their aircraft equipment. And when I was in Baghdad, it was pretty much supporting anyone and everyone who needed anything from whether it was flight gear to Oakleys to boots or whatever.
Yep. Cool.
Everybody.
I wonder. What year were you in then?
I was in from January 2004 to January 2012.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
2 tours.
Two.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
There you go.
Had my fun in the sandbox. Yeah.
Yeah. My whole family's Air Force except my brother-in-law. He was Navy, and that's why we were joking off the thing. He was on 3 different ships, and all 3 of them got decommissioned while he was on it.
Wow.
So they called him the closer. We understand.
Exactly. Then he knew it was time. Otherwise, our whole fleet would be decommissioned. It was him, but no, we love it when you guys do this. So, guys, not only support comics for the love of comics, but we got some veterans that are also into this. So, support, show our love to the veterans. Back these 2 projects. And, no matter what, they're 2 different, but yet really cool projects. And, love singing. I'm glad you guys were able to hop on board and join us today.
Yeah.
Thanks. It was awesome. Appreciate you. Even though I dropped out a couple times, but I'm back.
That's okay.
That's okay. It happens, and so I think it was Marcus put in there. This is a lesson for everybody why we need to have wired internet nowadays.
Yeah,
Yes.
not a bad idea.
Most
What do you?
definitely.
Now, I got to ask because you dropped out a couple times too, Drew. What do you have for internet?
I've got AT&T, the Uverse, and I'm really second guessing all that. And it's just Wi-Fi I'm on, but I actually I dropped out of that and I use my my I have a office mobile hotspot I'm using now for this since the other one isn't working.
I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain.
Yeah, that's weird because we have in the house. We have AT&T fiber, whatever Uverse, I think, and I've never had that problem. But then up here in my office, I've got Spectrum cable, which is fine. So whatever. But just curious. I always like to know. Someone mentioned Air Force. I was in the Air Force 79 to 83. There you go.
Hail.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, Drew, when you went into the Air Force, one, why did you pick the Air Force? I always like to know. And did you want to fly or no? What was the deal?
So I chose the Air Force because I had uncles who were in the Army, and I was kind of leaning toward that, but I wasn't too sure. Marines at the time, I'm like, no, that's not for me.
Too hardcore, man.
Yeah, Marines are hardcore.
Yeah, and Navy, I did.
Careful, careful what you say about the Navy, son.
Yeah, I'm a tall guy. I'm a big guy, and I wouldn't have fit on the fit through a lot of the doors and everything. So wouldn't have been
I'm
comfortable.
a tall guy too. I fit pretty good. They crammed me in that tin can very well. Thank you very much.
Well,
but you weren't on a sub.
No, I wasn't on the sub, and thank God for that because I had a buddy of mine. He washed out of the sub school and he come on board us. I was a boatswain's mate on the boat, and he told us all about what you got to go through for sub training. Yeah, dude, it is not good. They basically stick you in a pool the size of a sub, the length of it, and basically it's like vertical. And then they tell you they go in there and they basically lock you in it for a while. Now I don't know if that's true. I'm just going by what he told me. And you basically have to learn how to survive just in case something like that happens.
Oh wow!
Gee, I mean, the worst thing I ever went through was we were trying to outrun a typhoon once, and it kind of caught up to us, and I was on aft lookout. I'm all strapping myself down with motor lines, trying not to go over the side because we're listing, 30, 40 degrees either side. And the Pacific Ocean coming up and touching me on my toes. And, hey, buddy, how you doing? And, yeah, that was not cool at all. I didn't like that. I was out there for about 45 minutes. My relief comes and gets me, and he goes, this is what he says to me. Swear to God, he goes, oh, you're still alive.
Wow.
Thanks for checking on me, asshole. I appreciate you so much.
Wow.
I guess that was his other way of saying, oh, you're still here. I thought you would have been overboard by now.
Yeah, we hear the Air Force is looking for somebody.
Yeah.
Besides, we did hear in the Navy, the most important thing to learn is that your pants turn into flotation devices.
That's true. They teach you that in boot camp, for real.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been awesome. Andy and I, tomorrow night, we are going to go see the Godzilla -1 movie.
Yeah.
So
you guys like that new TV show?
A little bit of reading, so I'll have to translate.
Yeah, I got to read this movie. What the hell?
Oh, it doesn't matter. What I've heard, so I'm hoping to it. So we will do our review Friday morning.
That's right.
Nice.
The review will drop Friday morning. I am very much looking forward to it. I've heard such good things about it. So we're going to see that. It was a tough decision, though, because Silent Night comes out as well.
I know.
And that is also a must-see with Joel Kinnaman in the starring role. So we're looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll catch that next week. And if something else comes out next week, who knows? Maybe we'll catch 2 movies. I don't know.
Appreciate you.
In 4D.
You'll see it in 4D. Lucky guy.
Joe realizes there's only 3 dimensions in the real world, right?
Yeah, but
we tell
he's
him?
a Star Trek fan, so he understands there is more. So it's above your head. We understand that.
I get it.
But guys, those of you when you get off, Aaron Lepresti's Gray Beards should be up and running right now. So
That's
you
right.
can join them and walk over and say hi to them for us. So thank you all for joining us.
Yeah.
Drew, Don, so glad you guys came. It was a blast. Great meeting you guys. So everybody, link in the description down below, both campaigns. And if you guys do move them to a different one, like if you use Zoop or something later, make sure we know, and we will update it and add it to the to it.
Most definitely. I'm going to fix that whole tier problem thing in just a little bit, so you guys know. So
yeah, I think you'll pick up more backers once you do that.
Yeah, I wasn't even aware that was happening.
All right, guys, we're going to take off out of here. Thank you, everyone watching that joined us. Go jump to the Graybeards. Once again, it's great meeting you guys as well. And we will drop the review Friday morning.
Dude,
until then,
have a great evening, a great Christmas. God bless everybody.
Yeah,
Much
you
love.
too. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all of you.
There you go. Well, we'll be back before then to say that. So come on,
But
don't jump the gun, Dennis.
But we'll
talk to
now.
those guys on.
All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks.
Nice and Tight, the comic book pencil art of Andy Smith. That's me. This book features 52 pages of some of my favorite full pencils that I did for other companies over the past 2 decades. The raw pencils as they were seen by the inker, and now you can see them for the first time. This book also comes in a digital format so you can practice your inking in your favorite program.